What's going on, team? Welcome back to the channel. Really do appreciate you being here. My name's Chris and I'm building a business that suits my lifestyle. And today we're talking about the small business ebbs and flows. So 2023 has actually kicked off with a big blast. It's actually flying. It's been really good the last few weeks. I've had record weeks in terms of back-to-back consistency, all above $2,000. And if you've seen my recent videos, I did share that January was my best month ever, doing over $10,000, which it's been a ripper. It's been really great, and I've seen some new levels of sales volumes, and everything seems to be working the way I want it to be, based on the different strategies and the different things that I've been trying to apply. But the reality is this: small business, life, and anything to do with progress, I guess, of sorts, it's never that linear. It's never always going to be an upwards trend. It's never going to be perfect. And I'm here to show you and to share with you what's happened this week. And that's why I do these videos. I like to show up every week and share my business. I've been doing this way back from when I first started 2 years ago. And this video is as much as a pep talk to myself than it is to sharing with you as well, because this is the way that I go through learning and understanding how do I manage this. And while I'm trying to manage it, I want to make sure that I'm giving that back to you. So that is the purpose of this video. Now, at the time of this video, which is Sunday, the 12th of Feb, 11:34 a.m. So I haven't quite finished the week yet, but I'm currently down about 56% compared to what's been the average for the last 4 to 5 weeks, which is quite scary. However, I'm only down about 2.5% compared to my baseline of what I was tracking to in my previous financial year. So it ain't all that bad, but the reality is when you have a lot of highs and you get a low, it's quite hard to take on the shoulder and to take mentally and all that jazz. So that's really what I want to talk about today, because honestly, I haven't done anything different, and a lot of the time we don't do anything different. We don't have flags on our accounts, we don't have any cases opened, we don't have any issues on our account, and that's currently the case for me. Gone through, got a clean bill of health in that sense, and I'm thinking, what is going on? But things are slow, things are quiet, and things are dead, yet I'm putting in more than I ever have before. I've been buying more stock, I've been taking in so much. I'm thinking, what on earth is going on? Well, that's what we're talking about today. And of course, if you stick around to the end, I will take you through some show and tell, and I'll take you through also actually what has been selling this week and the actual results by the end of, how the end of the week has actually occurred. So buckle up and let's go through this roller coaster ride. So when it comes to small business ebbs and flows, like anything in life, there's always going to be that roller coaster mentality. But the 3 areas that I really want to focus on today is trust the process, check yourself, but also consider the playground or the ecosystem or what's actually going on in your battlefield of sorts, if you will. So the first one being trust the process. Regardless of your highs and lows, we need to always trust the process, right? And there needs to be some level of caveats with this. And of course, none of this is advice in terms of if you do this, you will get that. But this is just basically your theory and my understanding of how the principles of business have worked for me in the previous, 2 years, and obviously running other businesses prior to this, but also from my project management days. We have processes for a reason. We do things for a reason because they're, in theory, meant to actually get us to an expected outcome. We need to trust the process of getting where we want to be, but we do need to do the work as well. And if we're doing the work and making sure that we are doing the work, then theory is the process should work and get us to where we want to be. We went around in circles there a little bit, but you need to understand that success in small business takes time and effort in different ways, and it's not always easy done, easy do. We need to recognize that when you have ups and downs, that is actually part of the journey. And I can show you here on a graph of how my journey has been to date. Again, this is not a bad week. Like at this point, at the time of this video, I'm on $1,310. That's not bad. There's people that probably haven't done that already this week, but where I want to be and where I should be on track to be hitting to get to where I want to be, I'm nowhere near it. I'm way behind for this week. But the last, 4 or 5 weeks have all been up. So you got to understand that it's not always going to be that perfect, but it's hard to manage it. But coming back to just understanding, trusting the process, and it's part of the growth journey, we need to understand of how can we learn from the current experience, meaning this week, how can we take from this week, but also take from our hindsight, meaning what's happened in the past, and how can we now prepare for what's to come or what we're expecting to come. Because it could get better or it could get worse or it could stay the same. Now, when we trust the process, we also have to be willing to embrace the challenges and failures and opportunities that come with it, and also take on the learnings for better improvement. You see, when we set out a plan or a strategy to actually achieve something, we have this expectation or these set of things that are going to occur. Okay, let's say you wanted to go to university and you know that, okay, I'm going to go to university. I'm now going to get offered a job to work here. And then I'm going to be, CEO of a company within 20 years, right? Now, as you go through that university course, you might realize, okay, I don't like this. This is not for me. And someone else might come along and say, hey, we're doing this course. Do you want to come try this? And now all of a sudden you might be doing landscaping, right? Because you realize that's actually what you enjoy doing. And you can still be a CEO of a landscaping company. It's just some of it has changed. How we've gotten there has had to change. And that's the same process applied. You still had to keep showing up. You had to keep doing it. You had to still do the effort. You still had to put in the reps and you still had to put in the inputs to get the outputs. But some of the story has changed. And that's really what we need to do. We need to understand, do we need to be adapting? Do I need to change? Is there something that we needed to assess, or is there something that we need to adjust? Is there an opportunity here to a chance to try something else or try something fresh? Or do we just need to keep doing what we're doing and, just assume that things are going to get better? That could be the answer. And we'll talk about that very shortly. But sometimes it's actually just about knowing that you are doing the right things and doing that in confidence. And then also knowing that sometimes things aren't going to plan because it's out of our control. So the next point is we do need to be mindful of how things are going and we need to check ourselves, right? So I'm saying all these things that, do we need to assess things? Do we need to change things? Well, that's where you need to do a process of checking yourself before wrecking yourself. And how we can do this is we can actually do regular self-reflection, I guess, and ensure that what we're doing is aligned to where we want to be going. So if I want to be able to achieve $160,000 or $100,000, let's say $100,000 for math purposes, I need to be doing like $276 a day, every day for 365 days to get me to where I want to be. So if I want to get to 160,000, if I want to get to 250,000, it starts to go up. We're getting up close to 400 amounts, right? It starts to get really, really high. Understanding that's what it's going to take. And are we going to be able to achieve that? And what do I need to do to make sure I am achieving that? Now, if I have been achieving that and all of a sudden things change, but I haven't actually stopped doing things that's going to get me there, you got to start thinking, what's going wrong, right? Now, there are things that we do tend to do, which can mean we are self-sabotaging, right? So making sure you are not self-sabotaging your own success with negative thoughts, negative behaviors. And sometimes we do things thinking that they will make things better or easier, yet they serve no real value or purpose, right? If you have a goal to do 20 listings a day, but you're listing things that aren't going to sell or things that are irrelevant, and I'm talking to myself just as here because I've done it in the past and I still do it sometimes because it's just easy to do. If you list things that aren't going to sell, yeah, you did 20 listings, but how is that going to benefit you? You feel good because you've hit your target, but you haven't actually achieved what you needed to do. You're better off listing 20 $40 items that you know will sell on a 30-day cycle. So with that in mind, you still need to be also mindful and have a humble approach and being open to feedback as well. Constructive criticism. And I'm sure by me doing this video, I'm probably going to have some people have some comments. They might give me some insights of maybe this is what I need to try, or maybe they're going to share what they need to change or what they need to try. Maybe you want to share what you need to change or what you're doing that could be done better. And this can be hard, but most of the time it usually is going to help you. And that's why you want to be able to check yourself before you can start to then go on to the next segment, which is, what about the factors outside of our control? And what's our ecosystem at the moment? What are we operating in? And I'm purely talking more so eBay at this point, but eBay has so many limiting factors or impacting factors coming from third parties or external factors. Big words, let me explain. The questions you should be asking yourself is, what is happening in the current market state? Meaning, what is happening with people's finances? There are financial pressures to our customers. And we also have, some timing around seasonal pressures and challenges at the moment. Currently in the market at the moment, obviously there is a lot of pressure on people and customers. So in the market at the moment, we've just finished Christmas. There's probably a lot of people that are having to pay their credit cards. 55 days since Christmas, so people's credit cards are due. People now realize, crap, I don't have the money to pay for this. I can't be spending money on things that I want, and I need to be focusing on paying for the things that need to be paid for. So there's a lot of those kind of pressures. There's also financial pressures in the sense of, we've got new interest rates, higher interest rates. We've also got other things going up in cost prices, inflation. We're having to probably put our prices up because costs are going up for ourselves. So people's focus on trying to spend isn't really there, right? They're having to worry about their own problems. Therefore, those pressures on our customers is making it hard for them to come here and buy. Now, I'm not saying, this is the case for everyone. There's probably plenty of cases where people are having really, really good weeks. For me, it just hasn't worked out this way. So you start to think, am I doing something wrong? Now, I'm using these as things to think about, well, logically, what is out of my control that could be driving things down? There's also timing and seasonal pressures as well. People are now back at work fully. January, a lot of people take extended leave, but now people are actually back at work. People are back at school. People aren't sitting on their phones as much, buying things. And also, you've got to consider that people are probably back in the office, meaning they're no longer working from home as much. It's a bit of both. There's so many different factors here. That's just 3 areas that I've mentioned. There's probably even more than this, right? And it also comes down to, what am I selling? What am I listing? Do those things make sense to be listing and selling at this point in time? What's their price point? How well are they advertised? What are the pictures like? There's so many factors, right? And I think this is where we need to then say, welcome to the roller coaster ride, because we can trust in the process, but we need to make sure we're doing the process right. So we need to have that self-awareness, and we need to have that willingness to adapt and to make sure that we're navigating through those ups and downs with the right, byproduct of reaction and how we go about taking action. But we also need to stay focused and reflect on, yes, let's keep moving forward, knowing that if we're doing everything right, there's other factors at play that we have to be mindful of and figure out how do we solve for it, right? And it's revisiting strategies, it's revisiting what can I do differently? Do I need to be listing something differently? Or do you just take the bet and do it? Well, we will find out next week. So next week I'll be here again sharing whatever the topic may be for the week. But the reality is I'll give you an update on the progress of the week and we'll see what's been happening. So far, it ain't too bad. I can't really complain at all, but I'm being honest, because this frustrates me, because you put in the work and you're not seeing the results that you should be seeing. So you start to question what's going on. But that's just me. Let me know in the comments down below. How's your week been? What's been going on? Are you feeling things dropping down? Are you seeing your best week? Yeah, that's great. If you are, well done. I really do appreciate any insight or any comments that you guys want to leave. Now, with that in mind, if you have stuck around, we're going to dive into what's been selling for this week and the actual week progress. So the top sales for this week, it's actually been not real big bangers. I've had top 4 sales have been pretty low key. I did sell one video game that has gone out for, well, top sale number 1. It was a video game that I got from a video game lot for free, which I'm super grateful for. So this was a 3D dot game on PlayStation 3, came with a manual, and I've been able to sell this one for $69.70. It was a lot higher. They had a coupon, and I've profited about $49.50 after fees and postage. So that's a big win. Top item number 2 for this week has been a Nike cycling jersey. Now this one actually has gone overseas. This one also, I did not actually have to pay for. I got that in a lot of clothing. Oh, jeepers. This one came from, I think someone was just getting rid of stuff. I actually had it sitting in my def pile, and I only started listing it when I was doing all the clothing about, probably started about 8 weeks ago. So there was no cost to this one, which is really, really rewarding. It did sit around for probably about 30, 40 days, and I've been able to sell it for $67.37, and it's gone over to the US, and I've walked away with about $44.76 back into my pocket after fees and postage. Top item number 3 for this week were these vintage Sweet Valley University books. Now these ones, I picked them up from, I think it was one of my local Vinnies, not too bad. Now I did pay up for these. I paid $17.36. That was from an average cost of good perspective. They actually were only $1 each. But these ones have gone over to, I think it was South Africa. So they've paid $62.75, and after fees and postage, I'll walk away with around $22.41. Now, in terms of the final item that's been the top item for this week, which again, it's not even a huge dollar-y-do amount, was this Ralph Lauren men's shirt size 1734. Now this one I paid $12 for. Been doing a lot of clothing, as you would have heard, and I'm going to show you how much clothing I've done this week. But I sold this one for $51 flat, and I walked away with around $21.02 back into my pocket after fees and postage. Now, in terms of what actually has been selling for this week, let me show you quickly before we get into the deep dive of the week. But clothes is up there. Clothes is now my top item in my selling items. Usually it's been books, video games, and DVDs, or usually books and DVDs, but now it is clothes. So done sales of 12 clothing this week, and that's brought in around $512 of revenue. Margin there for the profit wasn't actually that high. If I actually just have a quick little sticky beak of what it was, I had saved this to the side. The profits on these are actually looking to be profit margin around 34.8%. 0.3%. So it's not huge, guys. It's not huge, but it's consistent and they are selling quite well. And some of these have only been listed for about 3 or 4 days. And here's the rest of the items that have been selling as well, so you can have a look for yourself. Now, in terms of the actual week 109, look, at the time of this video, which is now 11:49 on the Sunday evening, hopefully by the time you're watching this, you're seeing a lot better numbers that I'm actually reading out from the screen. My goal at the moment is trying to be hitting $2,000 every week as a minimum. So we're not quite there at the moment. We've got 43 sales. We're at a 38% margin, which is quite low for the week. I've been moving a lot of low items as well. Cost of goods. Our cost has been around $217. We're only sitting on $1,300 at the time of this video, $1,310 actually, and profit we're sitting at about we're actually sitting at about $500. So we've got a long way to go, guys. But this is the reality of it, and that's why I'm here to share, because I want to make sure I'm 100% transparent, 100% honest. That there's going to be some really big weeks, but I'm also here when it's low for me, for a low week as well. ASP for the week has been about $30.48, and average cycle time 88 days. So that's the reality of it. If you do have questions about this, chuck them down below. We're going to dive into some behind the scenes.
Howdy folks, Monday morning, back in the office, and I've just done a big cleanup at Salvo's. My local Salvo's got, I think it was 14 or 16 things of clothing in here. Actually, I've got 2 books in here too. Not sure where I put those. How about I didn't leave them there? Anyway, yeah, so got a whole bunch of this, so I'm going to take some photos in a second, and then we're going to, pick, pack and post. So I've got to fix something here. Something broke actually. I've got another light here that I need to hang. We're doing that later in the week, but got to fix something here, and then I'll get into some photos, and then we're going to, I've also got to do some rebundling, so that's priority this week, and then we'll just get to the usual efforts. Let's get it. Alright team, we've got a bunch of different things going out today. We have lots of books, we have lots of media, we have Lego, we have clothes, lots more clothes, VHS, this guy, another book, second time selling this, a hat, a couple of video games, relisted this and sold it as a bundle, and it sold within a week, which is pretty good. Got a couple of phones going out as well, guys. And that's going to one of you guys. I'm not going to name names, but someone did reach out for it, so thank you. Yeah, not too bad. It's only taken me 2 minutes to pull out. These took literally like not even a couple of seconds. Over here it's just really easy. Alright team, all done, all packed up. Not too bad. Has taken 1 hour and 9 minutes to do, I think it was 24 packages. Yeah, peace. Alright team, welcome to Thursday. So just doing a bit of whole bunch of clothing this morning. I've just actually printed out a whole bunch of the new Dymo labels from the one that I got the other week, and that's working a charm. So I've just done a bunch there to test it, and there's another 60 in there, so not too bad. So that little Dymo over there is the second one. It works pretty good. Picked it up for 15 or 18 bucks from Salvo's. Pretty good. We're going to go do some clothing right now, and then I'm going to do pick, packing and posting, and then going through a big clothing haul later in the day. So let's get to business. Alright team, clothes are all done. We've just done a picking session. It's only taken 5 minutes to get 20 items out, which is pretty good. Pretty happy with this. With the new clothing system, it's working a charm. All down here, let me just show you again. So no one actually responded in my last video for this. If anyone is interested in this, do let me know. It's not perfectly brand new, but it's like never been used much. This is the new setup. As you can see, we're basically just almost at the bottom, and got the new little numbering system on the top there, which is pretty good, as you can see. Pretty happy with that. See, 296. And I'm about to start on this side. These are all the ones that I've done, and I think for the person who's working for me, they're on 130. So they're catching up. It's pretty good. All right, let's pack all this up. Oh, actually, no. Let me show you what I got. We've got some Lego going out. This guy I picked up in my recent Savers run, which will be a video coming out. Actually, you won't see this video until a couple of days. So, spoiler alert, got this guy, sold him for $39. Plenty of clothing going out. This one's from a purchase last year. A bit dusty. This guy's going for 10 bucks. More clothing, some shorts, video game, CD, bundle of The Matrix in paper sleeves. We've got a Harry Potter bundle going out for 50 bucks. Some Asimov and icons. That was going in the coal pile and it sold. Actually, there is one more item that's in the cull pile that I've got to pull out actually. I just forgot, is that Childcraft right there. He was going to go to cull and he sold, so I'm pretty happy with that. When you start threatening to cull, things tend to sell. Yeah, let's get into it. All right, team, all done. Packages all packed up. We're going to put them into some IKEA bags and we're going to get out of here. And then I've got to go do some sorting of new stock. Not too bad. Here's some winners of Pokemon cards going out, but not get too close, show some people's addresses. Yeah, appreciate you being here. Oh, total time 56 minutes. Not too bad. All right, team, we're back here on a Friday, and this is all more clothing that we've been going hard on. This has all been done by my new helper, and I'm just bringing it over to bring into the back here. Just changing up processes, making things a little bit better. So these are all going to stack up in here. Still got a little bit of room there. This is working not too bad. A couple of things a bit dangly, but it's all good. It's all good. Right, so we're going to get started on that, putting you into the right order, and then pack a few things and then get out of here. You ready to rock and roll, babe?
Help.
All right, team, we are all done. Got a couple of things going out now, but it didn't take up too much, just the top row and here. These are very, very tight, so just got to be careful of that. So all those here, and this one will go up there, but I've just kept it down, easy to access. And then I'm just packing up a few goodies, which just while I'm here may make sense. Got Wrangler tee going out, not too bad. We've got a June book, a Nike jersey kind of style cycling vest, DVD, Inspector Gadget, and Harry Potter. Not too bad. And then we'll be out of here, so I'll leave it there, and Carla's resting, and we'll see you on the flip side.
All right, team, really do appreciate you being here. If you do have questions, as I always say, chuck them down below. Let me know how your week's been, what's been exciting for you. If you do have any questions, do let me know. As you can see, the clothing is starting to scale really, really quickly. I'm going hard on it, and it's the best way to learn. A bit scary because I'm dropping a lot of cash on that, a lot of dollary dues, I mean, and, you know, then the sales plummet. So it does make me nervous, but maybe because I'm putting in new stuff, the eBay algorithm's just trying to figure out what the hell am I doing. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Maybe not. But regardless, I'll be here each week sharing with you my progress for my small business, right? And that's the plan. So appreciate you being here. You have a wonderful day. Cheers.